Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can create a WordPress account without having an access to your WordPress admin. So if ever you forgot your WordPress login, but you do have access to your hosting provider, this will be an alternative option for you. Okay, actually SiteGround has an automatic login option, but if ever your hosting provider doesn't have that, then follow this video along. I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so you just need to log into your hosting provider and look for the MySQL. Okay, and then look for the PhpMyAdmin. There's only one database in this account, so I can straightly go into my PhpMyAdmin and go into access my PHP. All of the hosting provider has that, so you should be good to go. And then you go into the database of that WordPress account, and first is let's just go into like what do you call that, like resetting the password. If you already have the password and you forgot what's the password, you can just straightly go into the user database, and then you click like any of that, you click edit, and then you change the password, you type in the password that you want, and then you choose in make sure that the function is set to MD5, this one, and then you reset the password. Okay, I don't want to reset the password because that's not my account, but at the moment I don't have access to this account, so I'm gonna be showing to you how you can add an account without having or without accessing your WordPress backend. Okay, we'll do the two ways for you to add the account. We can use the SQL or query version, and then I'm going to also show to you the manual way. Okay, okay, let's just start first in the manual way of adding it, and then the easier way later how you can use the SQL. Okay, so the manual way is you need to select the database, make sure you remember the prefix that you use. This database is using VPCW users. Then you click on the user, and then you click on insert, and then you fill in the details. You can leave the ID empty. WordPress will automatically increment what's the user for that, and then what's the login, you can keep that empty. Let's say I want to use admin, and then the password is 123. Make sure the password is set again to MD5 to make it work, and then what would be the nickname, you can set it as admin, and then what would be the password, I can just say my email address, and then the username URL, you can put your domain, and then yes, registered, I can just make it like now, and then here you can, what would be the display name that will appear into the WordPress. Let's just call that admin for now, and then I'm gonna click on go. Okay, once you have that, remember what's the user associated to this account, so it's 845. Now once we already grab the user ID, we go back to the outside of the database, not the user table, and then you type in user meta, and then you click again the insert thing, and then here you need to match the user ID that you what would be the user ID, that would be the user ID, and then the meta key, it should be WP capabilities to make that work. And then what would be the meta value that you need to put is, this is the array, so it really depends as well what would be the permission you want into this user. For example, this, I want to be an administrator, that account should be administrator. You put that array. I'm gonna show it to you. If you can click the description below, I have some few examples what are the other options you can put in, and then you click in you click the go. Okay, so it's already good. And then if we go into the account here, user, and then we type in admin. Is it admin? Did I call it admin? So here's the account that we just created. Now, the easier way for you to do that is using the query option. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my PhpMyAdmin. If you don't like that extra layer of steps, you can just straightly use this query selector. You go into your database and then click on SQL, and then we're gonna run a query in here. So what it's saying is, I want to insert something. Just copy that. Actually, jump in here. What it's saying is, in my database, users, VPCW users, and these are the areas that you need to fill in. So the values would be new admin, password would be 1234, and then new admin, that's the email address. We're going to use a different email address because I already used that. Let's say that's my email address. And then what would be the user URL? You can always just, if you really want to fill in the user, you can leave it empty or you put your URL. And then when it is registered, you can just straightly say no now, or just set a timestamp. And then user status would be active. And what would be the display name? Let's say BookwormHead. And like, instead of using the manual, drop and drag things, we're just filling this template, this syntax, and it will automatically insert a user for us. Okay, so once you're ready, fill that out and you click go. Still, again, you remember what's the ID that is generated, and then we're gonna run again this new query in here, query, and then you replace the query. Like, we are also inserting we need to also match the user that we created into our user meta, that one, user meta. And then what would be the ID that was generated? It's 846, and the meta key should be VP capabilities, and I want it to be also an admin. Okay, then if you click on go button and we go to the WordPress website and we type in the email address that we just put in. Oops, it's a problem. Okay, it should be good. Maybe that's the email address that I use here. So hi at BookwormHead. So that's the process. It's so it's easier to use the query SQL. I'm gonna put the link description in the link description below. I'm gonna put the URL so you can just copy paste the code.